Hey guys, my name is Nick and this is my first ever Naruto review on chapter 696. I know this is a bit late considering Naruto is finishing in 4 weeks, but seeing it's one of my favourite manga series, I thought I'd start with, with this chapter today. So we begin back in the high class shinobi world. Naruto and Sasuke are still talking. Sasuke is going on about how if he wipes out everything, he can start the world anew, and Naruto asks him, what's stopping the world from going back to the way it was before? Seeing how eventually, if there's no one to govern anything, the world will become exactly what it is now. And Sasuke replies that he's the one watching over it. He's the one who's gonna make the decisions. He's the one who's gonna take control of everything. Naruto tells Sasuke that the villages have already become one, how the Kage have all come together and all the villages are united. And this kind of proves why Naruto, he's still kind of a little bit naive about how everything works, because Sasuke tells him that all the Kage are together now because, because they have a common enemy. They've had to fight Obito, Madara and Kaguya together. They couldn't have done it on their own. And what Sasuke is trying to get the point across to Naruto, that what's stopping them from becoming what they used to be. Because if you remember, the only reason they were together was because of the Akatsuki. They had a common threat and they had to join together. They weren't happy about it at first. Obviously, they came together and bonded over their fight with Madara and became one, especially Gaara and Onuki. But what's stopping them once it's all over? They've still got to be Kage of their own village. They need to do things to make their village superior to the other. Yeah, they can be on equal grounds, but eventually something's going to happen where one village is going to gain more power than the other, and they are going to need to do things to regain their strength. And that's when more ninja wars are going to happen, more rivalry. Remember, the Hidden Cloud are the ones that tried to steal the Byakugan from the Hyuga, and Neji's dad obviously died because of it. So stuff like that will continue to happen once they go back to being village. Yeah, they'll be friends. You could have a relationship like the leaf in the sand with the hawk on a grand scale, but eventually it is going to fall apart. But that's the same on Sasuke's point of view as well. Once Sasuke is destroyed, once Sasuke dies, who's gonna be the person who's in control? Everything's going to fall apart again, and everything is going to become what it used to be. I think they're both discussing the flaws that are in their plans. But either way, both of them have kind of flawed plans to begin with. Like they're both on two sides, which doesn't have a complete picture. They don't know solidly what the things they need to do to keep their ideas in check. And I think Sasuke's been a bit rash and being a bit forward, but that's who Sasuke's character is. Sasuke goes on to talk about how he will control everything from the shadows. He will be the person who decides the fate of everyone, pretty much. He's basically like Danzo, but on a higher level. Like, Danzo would do anything to protect the hidden leaf. Like, if that means killing someone, he'd do it without a heartbeat. He protected the leaf. But with Sasuke, he's doing it on a worldwide scale. Instead of it being one village, he's doing it for everyone. And he will become like the embodiment of hatred. Everyone will hate him because he's the one in charge. He's the person who controls everyone, but he's willing to take that hatred on further. And he kind of just explains that. Well, anyway, they break away, and the fight continues. But this is getting a bit crazy. It's getting on the Dragon Ball Z scale of fighting, because you see Naruto and Sasuke in the air, and they're flying across mountain ranges. Naruto ends up back where the Bijus were floating in the air, and it's kind of it's weird because you can't see the final valley whatsoever. So I don't know if it got destroyed or they've just flown really far away. It's kind of crazy, really, seeing that these two are on this kind of level, because you've never really seen something like this in Naruto. So they all both fly off, and Sasuke starts to get impatient, and he brings down the Bijus from the air and absorbs them into himself. this forms a new Susanoo, and the design's is a bit weird. It's not as good as the perfect Susanoo. It's kind of like a Susanoo, but it's got a human inside of it. So you see the Biju chakra, well, the Tail Beast chakra form a person inside the Susanoo armor. This is a weird design. It's cool. It looks alright, but I prefer the perfect Susanoo, where then Kurama states that Sasuke is done the opposite to what Old Man Hagoromo did, whereas he never used the Edo statue. So originally you'd have to get the Tail Beast chakra and put it into an Edo statue so it can combine and form the Ten Tails. Sasuke doesn't have any of that, so he's used his Susanoo as the new place to store all that chakra. So he's kind of got all the powers of. He's basically a 10-tail Susanoo, where he's got all the chakra now of all the Tail Beast and formed this ultimate Susanoo. Naruto forms some 9 tails shadow clones, and Sasuke takes a stab at him, saying that his jutsu is his weakness because it proves how much alone he feels. And then as Sasuke says that, he runs in and smacks one of the clones to the ground. The other clones jump in to try and attack Sasuke. It turns into them firing shed loads of Biju bombs and them all flying up in the air. Literally, it's just explosions everywhere. Well, while that's happening, the clone is knocked on the floor and starts gathering natural energy to form Sage Mode. Sasuke starts preparing a bow and arrow shot to at Naruto, but luckily the natural energy comes to Naruto and he forms the new Sage Mode. Naruto prepares a Risen Shuriken and a the Biju Bomb Risen Shuriken, and they both lob both their attacks at each other, and this is how the chapter ends. Well, this was a good chapter. I've really enjoyed it. I still don't know how they're going to wrap up this fight in 3 chapters, seeing it's just escalating, especially with Sasuke now getting a new form. But the fight is awesome. While there is little flashbacks in there was hardly any in this chapter, maybe a couple panels here and there of flashbacks. I hope they keep up this pace because this is literally purely concentrating on the fight, which we wanted. And even though flashbacks are good in some places, I think this fight is probably the place to avoid that, especially when you have 3 chapters left. At some point, I do want them to run out of chakra and basically go in fist flying and have a pure fist fight. But I don't think we're going to get that now, only because Sasuke has just literally got massive amounts of chakra now. With all the Tail Beasts inside of him, it's crazy. I know Naruto is slowly getting tired out because obviously he's got a limited amount. He's only got a little bit of chakra from the Tail Beast. So he's literally fighting someone who's pretty overpowered at this moment in time. The new Susanoo is cool. The design could have been a little bit better. It basically just looks like a less beefier version of the original Susanoo with a person inside of it. But it's cool. Sasuke's got a new power up, so the fight's getting a bit more intense. I don't know if he needed a new power up, but it's getting the fight a bit more intense. But overall, this was a great episode. There's not as much tactics as there is in classic Naruto, but the fight is really, really intense, and it's looking to be one of the better fights of Shippuden. So overall, I'm really happy with this chapter. Before I go, I want to talk to you guys about I'm making a Naruto retrospective. This will be going through the last 4 weeks before Naruto finishes. It's basically going through the main arcs of Naruto and discussing how the story progressed and how Naruto has grown as a character. And just so we can just get an oversight of, an overview of the last 15 years Naruto has been in our lives. And apart from that, I should be back later with a couple more chapter reviews. And then, so if you like this video, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys with the next video. Alright, cheers, bye.